It's really hard to gauge how far you are away from these objects. And in case you don't know, I'm looking at a black hole. Iota Volantis B. That warping effect is a lot. I'm very close. Keep flying slightly above it. Only 7 million meters out. There, you can see the pinprick of the rewarping. I'm on an impact course with the event horizon of a black hole. Let's dive in. Welcome to a black hole. Let's see if I can get... No, I'm as close as I can get. It's kind of surprising, right? And technically the darkest types of objects in existence of everything lights up my ship pretty well. And just for you people that don't understand, that circle that I'm moving around, that's because my field of view, that is not the event horizon. Event horizon is roughly about that big circle. And that extra effect you're seeing is just the warping. You can sort of see the black hole reflecting off my helmet.
Frameshift drive charging.
In order to escape,
Ready to engage.
which in real life is completely impossible as far as we know. You have to aim directly away from the singularity. And then you can watch as all the warping effects
4,
begin to
3,
go away.
2, 1, engage.
as everything slides back into view, and then the space stops stretching. Yet I'm only a few hundred kilometers away from it. This is a very small black hole, but even the smallest ones can have insane warping effects. These are by far the most extreme objects in space, and the most fun to mess around with in Elite. If you haven't ever been to a black hole because you're not one for exploring, highly recommend getting even just like a Cobra, a pretty cheap ship, outfit it with a decent frame shift, and just hop out, find the closest one, and hop out to it. It is well worth the trip. This is the view from beneath it. It's still above us. Look at that. Look at that crazy warping constantly. Everything's sliding past the sides. With the grand scale of space and the nebulas and stars and other galaxies just in the background, they're so massive, so voluminous, and so amazingly far away. But a tiny object, only about 50 kilometers across, is able to just stretch them and bend them. Of course, not in reality, but for you, it's able to just change the universe in front of you. And that's one of the most incredible things about them. This is another angle. The warping is, since there's less light, more minimal, but you can see there's sort of a dark center with just the slightest warping. And then there's a disk, a ring of stars. That has an abrupt edge. One very interesting thing about black holes is that they can make the best observatories. Because I'm looking at most of the sky, if not all of it right now. Besides, I think, the Milky Way. But basically anything else I could possibly see from this angle is all just compressed into this tiny disk. It's all warped around this object.
Frameshift drive charging. Ready to engage. 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
That's always one of my favorite effects. Is the orbit went spazzing out. No, I have to say sometimes those with motion sickness might not enjoy black holes too much. I have an idea that I kind of want to try. Actually, I really want to try. I'm going to let it warp. I'm going to go back in a third time. But I have a fun little, sort of like a paradox. Sort of not. And also watch as everything around us is stretched. That looks pretty awesome. And for some people who don't understand why, because this is more or less the Event Horizon, that ring, but what some people might not understand, why I can see it and we see stuff on it, and it's not pure black. I'm not necessarily seeing things on it, it's that the light is being warped in such a way that it curves all the way around and comes back towards my eyes. You really think, because there's so much light falling into it, you think a black hole is just pure black? It's warping everything. But that looks... I haven't done this. Kind of looks like second impact, or third impact. Now that looks like a menacing black hole that many people might affiliate with it. You can see the Orion Nebula. So I'll leave you with this question. I'm in a black hole, essentially. What happens if I turn my ship lights on? What should happen? I don't think the game does much, but if you were in a black hole on your way through the Event Horizon, what would happen as you opened your ship, as you turned on your ship lights? Would you see them? Would you not see them? This is a pretty close black hole to Sol, so for all you people that haven't been to one, this is a pretty good one.
Frameshift drive charging. Ready to engage. 4, 3, 2, 1, engage. Frameshift drive charging.
Thank you, Commanders, for watching. Go find yourself a black hole. They are not something to miss in this game.
4, 3, 2, 1, engage.